Greetings and a good evening. Welcome to the first episode in our drawing series. As you can see right now, super fast, in the background, Barry is learning to draw. You are watching his first attempt at drawing a character. How did this go, Barry?
Well, I went in with no image in my head, which I should have probably gotten something in my head first of what I wanted to draw. But I just jumped into it, and it was a very interesting experience. So I went in pretty blind. I didn't have any. I hadn't watched any tutorials yet.
Also, he doesn't have much experience in drawing outside of drawing as a child, as most people did.
Yeah. So I went in and I basically, as you can see, sketched out the entire body, which. I now know it's not the way people do it, but it took me a very long time.
It is not the way.
It is not the way.
It took him like multiple days.
Well, I
not full days, but multiple days.
I think it took me like 5-6 hours, something like that in total, over the course of a few weeks, because I had some other stuff to do. I also drew the background. I just reused that for the other drawing that you will see later, but it mainly was about the character, right? It was a very interesting experience.
Our goal here is to get Barry good at drawing characters. He's gonna draw objects as well. If you are here to learn to draw from us, you're not in the right place, but we will look for tutorials for you. Barry used these tutorials to upgrade his drawing after creating the one you're seeing right now, of course. After the tutorials, he drew this one. As you can see, not much changed, but that's because he was on a time crunch for this one. Let's actually look at his progress in his practice drawings. So Barry, what you want to talk about on those? Pick one and start speaking.
Well, I'm just gonna go for the first one that I did as a practice drawing, which is this man right here. It's this one. It's a head-on drawing, which I am actually. For me, it's easier to draw head-on than to draw on the side or 45 degrees. It's just because I think I have most experience analyzing people when they're right in front of me. I've also told other people, like, the way you can draw, or what helps with drawing, is being able to see the line. It's the same as, when you're racing, you see the racing line. Being able to see the line of what you want to draw is actually very useful, and that is something that I can do because I've analyzed a lot of people when they're standing or whatnot. I just analyze what is their body shape, how does everything compare. I'm not that great at putting it on paper yet, but this one I think I did really well.
As you can see, he went for let's call it a complex stickman to draw his pose correctly and draw around that. That's based on Jazza's instructions in this video.
Yes, and that is actually a style that I want to keep practicing and keep getting better at. Currently I am using mostly what he uses. With the shapes and stuff. I know that there are different ways of doing the shapes. Later on we'll see a drawing where the bottom half, basically the hips, is actually more based off of a drawing from Sir Grafo, but we'll get back to that.
Sir Grafo uses skeletons similar to this one, and this right here is Barry's try on that. As you can see, he drew a guy sitting on a box.
Yes, so I drew a person sitting on a box. Now that means that the legs are also in perspective.
Which helps with you drawing too short legs in general.
Yeah, I guess. The hands are definitely not proportional and the feet are also not that great. That's something I need to practice at some point in the future. But as you can see, the hips are more in a V shape, which is what he uses for his Chloe drawings. Also the triangle on the chest, which he then mostly uses for nipple placement, but that also helps with knowing where the lines would go for the chest. that is also very useful. I have a tendency of drawing legs and arms and heads smaller than the rest of the body.
He draws absolute units of bodies.
Which I need to work on a lot. We can actually see that in this one, where the body is alright and the head is alright, but the arms and legs are definitely not in proportion. This man is supposed to be walking towards you, kind of.
I mean, he looks like he's groovy. Flip the image around like a few times on screen. He looks like he's groovy.
Yes, but he does have the dwarf legs, which is kind of funny.
So basically, Barry draws fridges with heads, arms, and legs on them.
And then, as you can see, we have this one, which I immediately knew was bad. So I reattempted that in this one, in a different angle, but still kind of the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did a little better than the first try, but it's still definitely not that great.
Mm-hmm. As you can see in these sketches, though, Barry did improve. Let's quickly show a collage of everything together. Here is all of the images you saw today. Anything else to add, Barry? How do you feel about this experience?
Drawing is hard.
Drawing is hard.
But it is fun. And I hope one day I can live up to my expectations of what I want to draw, you know, more like closer to actual anime art styles, or not per se the art styles, but the details that they have. Like,
of course.
Sometimes the eyes are very detailed, and that sort of stuff that I want to do. I'm actually, to be honest, already decent at eyes. One thing that I've also learned is I've upped my canvas size, specifically for the practice drawings between the first and the second try. And that canvas size was still not good enough. I went to like 4K, but that's still not good enough. So I need to go even bigger.
Okay. So
I'm gonna...
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to experiment a bit, and over time I'll learn. And I'll probably relay some of that information in videos. This is definitely not the last drawing video.
No, of course not. I called it a series at the start.
Indeed, and I am very excited to continue this. So
yes, Barry will continue practicing characters off screen, but for the next video he's gonna draw a vehicle. We hope to see you there. Consider liking this video if you want to join us on this drawing journey.
Yes.
And we'll see you soonish, I guess. Bye.